From the BBC, the Blitz and the truth about London's greatest wartime horror. And obviously because this is definitely the truth, the story is accompanied by this picture. Yeah, the truth of the matter is you are more likely to bump into a leather and skull-clad Gestapo officer wandering around the London Underground than you were a little black kid, yeah. Right then, in the latest piece of Goebbels-style propaganda, the BBC ran a story yesterday telling us the truth, the unvarnished truth about London during the Blitz. And judging by the story they've accompanied the picture with, London in 1944 looked like the Democratic Republic of Congo. So that's weird, isn't it? Oscar winner Steve McQueen's latest film offers a new perspective of life in the capital during the devastating 1940-41 bombing campaign, dispelling myths and cliches. Really, in 2024, where you've got militant book-burning race baiters who constantly lie about reality every day as part of some nefarious scheme to rule the world. And they're going to tell you with a straight face that this, accompanied by this picture, when we have the census data, the UK was 99.999% ethnically homogenous in 1940. They're going to tell you that they're dispelling myths and cliches. Well, this entire story is a cliche. I'm serious. Everybody's had enough of the woke stuff. Everybody. Even all of those on the left. That's why all the big left-wing figures like Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. and all of them have turned their back on it. So this is a cliche. There's your headline, there's your picture, and there's your opening paragraph. It is a cliche. Everything about this story is a cliche, starting with the headline, the photo that accompanies it, and the opening paragraph. Easy. Christ on a bike. Anyway, out of morbid curiosity, let's read it, shall we? I can assure you there is no panic or fear and despair in London town. There is nothing but determination, confidence, and high courage among the people of Churchill's Island. Yeah, that was in 1941. In 2024, all we've got is despair. The people in the Blitz did have more optimism for the future than people do in London now, because they know they're done. They know the capital is done. In fact, I'll blow it up to make this point, just to let it sink in. The government, the mainstream media, the NGOs, and all of the civil servants and the judiciary and everybody, the courts, the lawyers, the cops, colluded after the murder of children when they knew for a fact that the bloke that did it wasn't a church-going Welsh kid. They knew why he'd done it, and they colluded and covered it up to lock up hundreds of people who were understandably angry about it for spreading misinformation when everything they were saying was true and factually accurate. And now the truth has come out because they had to tell us months later, the day before the budget, and they haven't released a statement about it. They haven't uttered a peep. So I would postulate, no hyperbole involved, that there is more despair now than there was then. Because then we at least had a fighting chance and we knew the Americans were going to join in. And we had great orators like Churchill speaking about the problems of the day. Now we've got Diane Abacus, David Lamtron and shit-for-brain Starmer actively colluding with the enemy and working against the British people. If the enemy already run your country, what chance have you got? So I don't think I'm being hyperbolic, but yeah, let's just read the rest of this drivel, this ludicrous propaganda that the state-owned broadcasting corporations pushing out there. Again, it's like Goebbels has set up shop in London and he works at the top of Broadcasting House. Quentin Reynolds declared in London Can Take It that the British people had a blitz spirit, a stoic yet cheerful defiance that paved the way for the ultimate defeat of fascism. The political and cultural value of the narrative proved irresistible across the political divide. Yeah, well now our leaders side with the enemy, so we're already done. And like, there's another picture. Front and centre. Characters and stories in London's wartime society that have often been overlooked. They've been overlooked because they weren't there. They've been overlooked because they weren't there. This is a fiction. Steve McQueen's new film, Blitz, follows 9-year-old George on an odyssey through a bombed-out London to find his mother, and his journey offers an unvarnished and startling glimpse into the horror and humanity of the Blitz. It's a lie, though. It's a lie. George wouldn't look like that. Mass immigration into the UK only started in the 50s, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. This is just a fiction that's been pushed by a professional propagandist and activist. Steve McQueen is an artist, but he was keen on getting it to feel right and to look right. Was he? He was keen on getting it to look right. Well, then why is the lead not a ginger? Why? If he wants it to look right, start with the main character. Crikey. It's unbelievable, this stuff. It's quite a challenge to make a film look so extraordinary at the same time as trying to keep it accurate, and he did. Yep, definitely did. Definitely did. And I'm going to make a film about Martin Luther King, and I'm going to make sure it's accurate by casting Ewan McGregor in the lead role. Yeah, and it will definitely be accurate because the BBC will say so, won't they? They will, yeah. And Idris Elba can be Robin Hood. Yeah, it makes loads of sense. Despite McQueen's emphasis on accuracy, the director does not see his film as a conscious effort to correct the historical record. Accuracy. I've never seen a mixed-race child in a war film set in the Blitz. I've just never seen it. Yeah, that's because there was none, mate. That's why. I've never seen a mixed-race child in a school photo from the 1970s, let alone a Blitz war film. Seriously, if you think I'm lying, don't trust me or the BBC. Do your own research, right? Here's what I want you to do. Your own clever bit of journalistic digging, okay? Go around your granddad's house and ask to see his secondary school photograph, from the whole year stood there. Go and do that. Go and ask your granny or your granddad. At this point, they probably went to school in the 60s, right, at the latest. Go and ask to see their school photo. And I'll give you a clue. It's not going to come back looking like the cast of The Cosby Show in the middle of the row. No, it's not. Even if you live in London. Even if you live in London. Because the UK, like Japan, is a little island that was ethnically homogenous until very, very, very late in the game. And we didn't get mass immigration until like the 90s. That's a fact. You can check the census data. Anyway, keep on spewing your lies, BBC. Come on, we may as well get to the end. Highlighting home truths. In fact, you know what? I'm not finishing it. I've changed my mind. I can't bring myself to do it. It's just an interesting thing to me that all of the subheaders are blatant lies as well, aren't they? We'll do them quick. What have we got? We've got dispelling myths and cliches. We've got the reality of the Blitz spirit, where he wants to get everything accurate, and he has. We've got highlighting home truths in this work of neo-fiction. And we've got, for a start, there were pockets of London that were always diverse, particularly around the docks, where you'd have black nightclubs, just as depicted in the film. Yeah, what a load of bollocks. So there you go. Absolute work of fiction from the BBC. Very on brand for them, isn't it? The truth about London. Page of lies. Page of lies. Unbelievable. Before I go, though, I will finish with one story that's doing the rounds that I didn't feel warranted a video all of its own, but it's worth mentioning. The big story from the States in the last couple of days was when a comedian made a comment about Puerto Rico currently going through a refuse crisis, and in the joke he referred to Puerto Rico as an island of garbage, and everybody laughed. In response to it, Biden said this.
For Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization is seen as unconscionable.
Right, ignoring the fact he can't talk anymore, and he nearly said Puerto Rico, where I'm from. I want to ask you a simple question. What do you think's more offensive? A professional comedian making a joke about Puerto Rico in reference to current affairs, as the island is currently going through a refuse disposal crisis, or the sitting president of the free world calling 100 million Americans garbage? I'll just leave that with you. All right, thanks for tuning in. As always, let me know what you think of both stories in the comments, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take it easy. Toodle pip. Cheers.